You are
What sort of music do cows
literally
like?
They just like hearing the word move.
move.
Yeah, move. That was good. Move. That's good. Yeah.
Move.
They just. Camellia!
I get it! That was mine!
Bring in the mega cow.
I'm afraid there's only one thing for this. The cup.
I am standing.
Go to the table.
The table. Okay.
Look at the cup.
You say blue cup, but there are three
Look
of
at the
them.
cup.
You say blue
Look
cup,
at the
but there
cup.
are three. You say blue
Look,
cup,
cup.
but there are three. You say blue
Look,
cup,
cup.
but there are you say blue
Look at the
cup,
cup.
but there you say blue
Dr.
cup.
Clem.
You say
Look at the
blue
cup.
cup.
It's
but
got
you
that
say blue
taste that
cup,
you.
Somewhere between common and rare.
Mug tree.
Mug tree!
Egg. Egg.
Egg. God, I wish people would stop saying egg and mug tree.
We'll fix it.
I'm making a profit. Now that I doubled my coal supply, I'm making a profit. Wow.
Welcome to trains.
Yeah. B now, right? Okay. Oof. Cover. The. Oh my god, where am I at? Carve, and then I did a V, now I'm on an E.
A game show
So-
called
and if there was a
How
goat-
Close to
There used to be a
514.
game show called.
And
Well, I
as
can't
part of
remember
it,
the
you
name
opened
of it,
the
but
three doors,
It was a
there'd be
and behind
three
two of them was
doors.
the show, and behind one of
Behind
them
two
was
of them.
Oh,
is-
say
and-
can
Three
you
doors.
see why the
doors are three lights.
one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just how I am. Okay, this is a beautiful place. I think I was very wise to. Ow!
The storage booths. Okay.
Use lock lever. Lever.
Run? I can advance quickly.
Stop. The storage booths.
The storage booths. Okay.
Push.
What is it?
Pull.
What?
Push lever.
Are you talking about?
To be honest, hoops are shite. To be absolutely honest with you, hoops are shite. Hoops are fucking shite. Steer clear of hoops. Listen up, you lot. What is the name of the song that Ava Max released in 2018, which became her breakthrough hit and topped the charts in 22 countries?
Can I get that in a sentence?
Yeah, was that not a sentence? Okay. This one's only a Bab anyway. Oh no, I've lost track. No more eyes on Bab. Where is the Bab? Oh. Hello, thank you for the drink. Jack Jambos giving me the drink. Oh boy, I got scared. D now, right? Okay. Oof. Cover. The. Oh my god, where am I at? Carve and I did. Look at that. Booyaka
Wow, you
shack.
did it! Thanks. I really needed that.
Oh my god, the healing is so small. Categories game.
What, like this?
No, that's a sexy pose. Categories game.
Yes.
Stop.
Thanks.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, she's a legend. I love her.
Well, congratulations for coming second. You get. Hang on.
Yeah, hang
Okay,
on, wait.
the order
Oh,
was
wait, hang
best
on.
to. That's so fucking stupid. I've made the stupidest fucking leaderboard in the world. That is the worst leaderboard in the world. So the highest amount you can get, the highest amount you can get is 9.
As 0 foot away from yourself, and that's your profile in the top, and then in a grid formation, reading across like a book, it tells you your closest person by pure distance.
Right, and
go
so
through
you
them.
you were on Grinder. It didn't ping you. You went on Grinder.
Egg.
Are you Team Gun?
Gun.
Yeah, so I'm just giving people some updates. First update is as of November, we're not going to be saying egg anymore. We're going to be saying mug. As of November, we're not going to be.
Perhaps also, maybe they felt a separation with reality as well.
What? This is the
But what
deep,
about you?
pensive part.
Are you really alive?
I'm a ghost.
You're such a joker, operator. What were the first words your mother taught you as a child? You say
Look
blue
at the
cup.
Clem.
You say
Look at the
blue
cup.
cup.
It's got
You
that
say blue
taste that
cup.
you
say
just
blue
won't
cup.
forget.
What should
Look
I
at the
check?
cup.
You say
Look at the
blue
cup.
cup. There are many
Look at the
kinds
cup.
of cup. What
Look
should
at
I
the cup.
check?
Look at the cup.
You say blue
Look at the
cup,
cup.
but there. What should I
Look at the
check?
cup.
What should I
Look at the
check?
cup.
What should
Look
I
at the
check?
cup.
You say
Look at the
blue
cup.
cup. What should
Look
I
at the cup.
check? What should
Look
I
at the cup.
check? What
Look
should
at
I
the cup.
check? What
Look
should
at
I
the cup.
check?
Look at the cup. Chunk loadering. Loadering. How many chunks load at once? Number 2 lots. Okay, I need gravel. Do not let me deviate from my gravel quest. I don't make the rules. Oh no, I did make the rules, but I'm not currently enforcing them. It's the computer that well, it's the program I made. I guess I am responsible. Camellia!
That was mine.
Bring in the mega cow.
I'm afraid there's only one thing for this.
We can't do it without you.
Now that's a shot.
Shit.
Look at that, over the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little
Yeah.
ram.
I guess you're right. Okay. Oh man!
The cup.
I am standing.
Go to the table.
The table. Okay.
Look at the cup.
You say blue cup, but there are 3
Look
of
at the
them.
cup.
You say blue
Look
cup,
at the
but there
cup.
are 3. You say blue
Look
cup,
at
but
cup.
there are 3. You say blue
Look at
cup,
cup.
but there are. You say blue
Look at the
cup,
cup.
but there. You say blue
Dr.
cup.
Clem.
You say
Look at the
blue
cup.
cup.
It's
but
got
you
that
say blue
taste
cup.
that you
say
just
blue
won't
cup.
forget.
What-
Egg. I'm bringing in Mugtree. I just rolled a randomizer, Josie. It could have been anything that came out. Honestly, be happy it's Mugtree. If it wasn't Mugtree, look at what else is in the noun thing. You should be happy it's Mugtree, because it could have been. Final fight.
She was totally unaware of the threat she posed to those around her. Oh yes, her boyfriend? He's been your operator, correct? He's been poisoned by the toxin from a mutated caterpillar. He'll surely die. I'm the one who locked
What?
him in the monitor room.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, she's a legend. I love her.
Well, congratulations for coming second. You get. Hang on.
Yeah, hang on,
Okay,
wait.
the order
Oh,
was
wait, hang
best
on.
to worst.
Wait.
Hang on, hang on,
Wait,
hang on.
Oh, wait.
What? Uh, oh. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this little afternoon stream. I think of them as like a little treat rather than a little sneak. I see we have Dr. Pete in the house. Just in case anyone's got any medical problems they need diagnosing, or maybe some prescriptions they need filling out. Hello, everyone. And thank you to our sponsors, Dr. Plem.
It's some of that lovely Dr. Plem, and I'm just so glad to be drinking it.
And of course, if you're not drinking Dr. Plem, maybe you need to speak to your doctor and get it prescribed. Dr. Plem is one of the best ways to burn off any toxins inside your body and just burn through anything, actually. It's like battery acid. Can you give a script to Albrot? I've become a little notebook guy. Have I explained this to people? I've decided to become a physical notebook guy. And I went down to my local Action, which is a shop I really like. I think it's somewhere between a Staples and like a B&M Bargains. And everyone on the tills is always having a big chat and doesn't stop their chat to serve you. And the only notebook they had that was like pocket-sized is this one with a big corgi on it. And a lot of glitter on the nose, on the tongue, and on the bandana. And I really like it. I had a Goliath walk this morning. It was very good. I'm becoming a real... It's literally, this is just the best one I could get. I just wanted something that would fit in my pocket, you see. And this was the normalest one, honestly. The other ones were like fully rainbowed. And I just thought that was just a bit too bright and a bit too technicolor. This has probably had the most muted colors. I love it. I actually love it. I actually think it's great. Yeah, F's in the chat for the Queen, of course. For the Queen of the Netherlands, who I think would need to be deported, isn't she? Of some other nationality? Doesn't some of the royal family here have split? Be eligible for deportation under Geert Wilders? Yeah, so they'll be kicked out. So F's in the chat for God, what's she called? Queen of the Netherlands. Queen Maxima. Yeah, okay. F's in the chat for Queen Maxima and her upcoming deportation. And also the all caps phrase, Will Smith, Blood Diamond, Beyonce, Hobbit, Hell. Did you write that on it or did it come with that? Previous Queen had a German husband, but he's keenly already died to avoid deportation. Well, Martin, you could say that he's become the victim of the biggest deportation of them all. It was printed on the notebook. That's very good. That's very good. Martin, I've started a course of new sentence flashcards, and I'm learning all kinds of stuff. I saw I saw a sign today on my Goliath walk, which I did not understand because it sounded like the sentence was on this sign. Gemaal zeugt ondernemer. And I'm like, huh? And I looked up Gemaal. Gemaal is a pumping station. And ondernemer, I'm like, undertaker? The pumping station wants an undertaker? Onder meaning under, nemer meaning taker. But it turns out, is that the word for entrepreneur? Well, I've learnt that since. But why does the pumping station want an entrepreneur? I don't want the pumping station to be entrepreneurialized. It should pump for the public good. Can you type out the sentence? Yeah, of course I can. Activity. Or even go, Gemaal zeugt ondernemer. I know that's not necessarily the wisest or most reasonable way of explaining it. That's what it says. Look, hang on. Do you know, I can do even one better than even that. I can do even one better than even that. Because I just took a picture of it. I just took a picture of it on my walk. I'm doxing myself because this is a water pumping station you can get to if you're willing to walk over 1 hour from my flat. Oh, Gemaal to her, to hire. Alright. Hello, B&M Bandit. How did your stream go? The renting out office space. What, the water pumping station? I'm afraid B&M. I was around for a little bit, but I found the crunch of the rice cake noise sent me into a new and previously unknown layer of hell. So I had to quietly drop out. Presumably the pumps are off. It looks like there's stuff going on in there. It looks like there's technology. It looks like the it looks like 1960s supercomputers in there. It looks like the Dennis wore tennis shoes. No, what is it? The computer wore tennis shoes in there. I think the pumps are going. There's so much sluicing happening over there. It's. See, I walked completely to the end of town and I found all the proper water treatment stuff. They're sluicing. They're making water go uphill. They've got these very military-looking things. It's all very high-tech. I walked until there's not even really a path to walk on anymore. And then I found an old stately home. I found like sort of an old stately gardens. No, I think you hire out the water pumping station. Hello, FMC. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Anyway, let me talk about what I want to do today. I have for a long time thought about how well researching or learning about something live on a stream would go. Is it something that is a bit too tedious to stream? Or is it sort of interesting? Or is it sort of fun? Thank you, Albrock. Oh, hello, Lucy. Thank you very much for the 7 months. Schmall. Oh, I can't really portmanteau your own name because it's alliterative. I could just say Lucy and just hold the L for slightly longer. And one thing I was doing is I was thinking, I love Lifeline 2000. I just can't stop thinking about how good Lifeline 2003 was to play, to think about, and to stream. And I'm also really enjoying Shadow of Memories / Destiny. And there's something about the ultra kitsch PS2 2000 to 2010, maybe more accurately the late PlayStation to the early PS2, so maybe it's sort of like 1997 to 1998 up to like 2006 2007. That's might be more accurate. But I've set myself a task of like just look through the games that are made by the same publisher and just see if you can find anything else that looks interesting and at some point play it on the stream. And then I got to thinking, well, why not do that task on stream? Why not let's look through them together and we'll make a 2 playlist together. And it's sort of an experiment in what a research stream would be like of sifting through information and collating information together. The Sniper 2 for PlayStation? Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. I'm happy to receive consideration. And in fact, I've been working on, I'm sort of, in the last few years since I started becoming a streamer, my just general interest in video games and piecing together and gaining an understanding of video games has increased, perhaps understandably. And I've just started making a Miro to like try and piece together the things that I like or know or want to notate. And so I started making a Miro board. Initially, I started just writing down studios. I'm like, do I mention these studios? But then I had to junk everything and start again because I think I'm more interested in individual creatives. As much as I don't like auteur theory, I think you can still make individual developers be at the top of your information hierarchy. But as long as you get granular enough to try and display information of the teams. So I did Miyazaki as a kind of style guide. Obviously, I like the Dark Souls series. I really enjoyed Armored Core. And so here's Hidetaka Miyazaki. And this is the games they worked on. And then the last Armored Core was made by Masaru Yamamura. But then Yamamura also worked on Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro, and I'm trying to work out a way. Hayao Miyazaki games will be said, well, there have been some Ghibli sign-off RPGs. What was the what was it called? Something. The tagline was like Shadow of the White Witch. They made 2 of them. There were 2 action RPGs that were. Hello, Immoral. I'm just showing off that I'm trying to make a video game developer Miro board of the things I'm interested in. Ni no Kuni, yeah. If Lucy Lefty, you think you'd enjoy a Hayao Miyazaki video game, look at Ni no Kuni. And in fact, Ni no Kuni, the first one, has like 2 startlingly different iterations. Because I think it was ported from maybe a handheld to a console. And one of them, they're both like Pokemon, but the actual play style of both of them are a bit different. But also, really, it was to like start writing down about these weird people I was discovering in the process of trying to find weird games to play in the stream. So I got really into this guy, Kenji Eno. Now, Kenji Eno made Enemy Zero. And as much as I'm fascinated with it, I'm probably never going to stream Kenji Eno, Enemy Zero over again. But I am fascinated with the story of the guy and the story of the creation of the game. Because Enemy Zero, which was the game I played only once, in which all the enemies are invisible, and if they hit you once, you die, and if you hit them once, they die, became so popular with people who were vision impaired that his next game was called Real Sound Kaze no Regret, a Dreamcast game that was told entirely through audio, and its visuals was only non-essential photographs. I was fascinated with this whole idea of a digital actress, of like a single model that he's so attached to that he put the same model in different games. But then my mind was blown, right? Because this model that was developed for D and Enemy Zero was designed by Fumito Ueda, who made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. And that's why I'm like, I need to write this stuff down. This is stuff really interesting to me. Like, the guy who made Ico 5 years earlier did the CGI for Enemy Zero. That's mind-blowing to me. So I've decided to become a little kind of video game research goblin, just for fun. Also, Martijn, this might be of interest to you. One of the other things I started doing was I started building a crib sheet on Dutch politics. It's very, very basic right now. But I decided to just start learning and understanding this stuff. Little picture of Mark Rutte on a bike. Some history and the stuff of the old green left-wing party links here. A little thing when I started going down the Pim Fortune rabbit hole, like who was this guy? It's very, very basic, but like it's a nice little crib sheet. I got very excited about BIJ1. And I've got this quote here about how he kind of became the leader by accident. I'm going to do more about this. I want to do stuff about the Tweede Kamer and the Senate and how the voting system works, but it's in an early stage. What program is this? This is Miro. Miro. I'm a big fan of Miro. Yeah, and I wrote down everything I found interesting about Enemy Zero here. Enemy Zero, fascinating game. I just do not look how much the main character. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place. Let's start here. Kenji Eno, high school dropout, really wanted to be a musician. He worked at Canon. Then he just did like telephone. I don't know what a telephone appointment company is. I don't actually know what that job is. He founded his first video game company and then had a semi-mental breakdown, absolutely lost his nerve, sold the entire company, and then he worked as an accountant for an automobile company. And then he did that for 2 years. and then he stopped, and then he formed Warp. And Warp is, I think they made a Puyo Puyo ripoff called Tripped. He warmed Warp. Yes, Bayane lost their is that what they're called? They're called Bayane. Of course they are. Bayane, because they were called Article Ain before, and then they got told they couldn't have that. Is that right? Also, they called Remembrance Day. The Amsterdam branch of the party called Remembrance Day basically racist for its lack of acknowledgement of the victims of Dutch violence in the global south, and they got a huge backlash. And then I'm like, these guys are cool. This is cool stuff. I found this box art, and I put this here. This is incredible box art. I don't know. I'm just drawn to it. I'm drawn to the kind of sexy carrot out the window. I'm drawn to this jelly, this green jelly with legs. There's just a lot going on. But then when you go in, you're like, yeah, it is a bit like that. This is a bit. I am Odove. I have taken your nice little restaurant. Ha ha ha. Yeah, and then he made D. I have D, and I thought about playing it. It's essentially a 2-hour movie with some choices you can make in it. And then D2, I don't know as much about, but I actually think has some first-person shooting elements. And then I've tried where possible, just to where I think it's relevant. Team Ico is a subsidiary of Japan Studio, and these are leftovers when I thought I was categorizing these by studio, but now I'm not. Now I think I'm following the careers of just interesting people. And then also I made this on Yayoi Onda. I'm such a huge fan of Crusader of Senti. I think I spoke to someone in DMs about Crusader of Senti, about how much I love her. I found an interview with her. She only really had she worked on 2 games for TurboGrafx, which I've not really included here. And then she did 2 then she joined Nextech and made 2 games. But then she just disappeared. And after that, I just cannot find out what she's up to. And the only person, I started just searching her name in Japanese and just going through the Japanese internet. And the only Yayoi Onda I can find that isn't people on Twitter talking about her games is a botanist at Osaka University. And I'm on the fence about sending the botanist an email going, did you make Ragnar Senti in 1994? But I'm not sure if I should. Jambud says it would be fine and that I'd probably get a response, but I don't know if it's worth it. At some point, I want to do Junko Kawano. That she's in the to-do pile because she made Shadow of Memories and she made Suikoden. However, here's where I want to focus our attention. 2000 to 2010. The creme de la kitsch. I have a theory that this era of Konami and Sony's PS2 output represents a golden epoch of bad but weird and innovative PlayStation games. Case in point, Lifeline 2003, going up to Shadow of Destiny, masterpieces of the form. And I just went, what else is that? And I haven't got very far at all. I spent a lot of time just working out what the style guide rules were. And then that was it. And also just going down these sorts of rabbit holes. I sort of lost a few evenings to this. So I spent a long time on this list, which I didn't realize. I was just looking at Konami's arcade output. So I found Code 1 Dispatch. I don't know how interested I really am in Code 1 Dispatch, but I like that you can drive a car and there's someone bathing in the back of it. I've never seen that before. There's also Silent Scope 2 Dark Silhouette, mainly because its first level is a sniper shootout on London Tower Bridge, so I thought maybe King of Time could help. Then Then sort of it seems to be a survival horror game that rips off The Thing. It's called Extermination 2001, Sony Interactive. I also, it's not relevant for the stream, but I found this Konami arcade dog raising game. There was a dog station. This was the era. I think Japanese arcades were still huge at this point, and Konami are making novelty arcade machines literally all the time. What I'm thinking of doing is, you can't always see. No, I'll just keep smashing up the text size, but I do appreciate sometimes your own. If I do that, I'll just bring it so that I know where the border is, where the chat's going to get in the way. Yeah, exactly. Dog Station is essentially a video game of raising and training a realistic on-screen dog using a keyboard that is built into the unit. There are a variety of different dog breeds for players to adopt and various exercises of skill to be undertaken, including a game of tug-of-war with another dog and perfecting the art of toilet training. It just doesn't seem arcadey. Is that London Bridge or Tower Bridge? I don't really know enough about London. And I've moved on from talking about that. The game incorporates a magnetic card within which the growth and progress of the player's pet is recorded. That's the thing that fascinates me, right? Is that you have this magnetic card and it's like you save your game and you take your dog away with you on a disc, and then you bring that disc back to the arcade to play with your dog. No one else can access your dog in that machine. Everyone's got their own dogs, but they have to come to this specific arcade machine in their local arcade to continue to see their dog. I just think there was an era of novelty, bizarro arcade ideas that's long gone now. Yeah, and that's just elaborating on the magnetic card. Can you take your card? Yeah, I'm very confident you can. I'm very confident you can. It's like it'd be like putting your PlayStation memory card in a different PlayStation. Here's my dog. Let me find the nearest dog raising facility so I can raise it a bit. In fact, I want to make a little. I just want this in the board. It's nothing I can ever play. Dog Station, Konami 2002. I just love it. I just love it. That's always been my crime. Dog Station. That's too big. Make that 15 font size. Yeah, I'll do. In 2002, Konami released an arcade cabinet where you could train and play with a virtual dog and then save it to a magnetic card that you would need to bring back to this or another dog station machine to continue playing with your dog. I just want that saved in here. I just think it's important that I remember the dog station. There we go. And that can just float around. I don't know. Keep it near to the Konami Sony. Do you think early 2000s? Yeah, I adore it. I adored the 1990s to the two. When did the magic die? When did the magic die? Because you couldn't make LSD Dream Emulator now for the PS5. They simply wouldn't let you. Newgrounds era internet was a mess. Something about what Newgrounds represented. I think Newgrounds, it represented a golden idea of pure egalitarianism. I don't think in reality it was. I think if you could literally time travel and go on Newgrounds in that era, you wouldn't think that much of it. But what it represented, the completely horizontal space to share your work, was great. 2008, yeah. Because the weirdness, normally everything comes back to 9/11. But the weirdness lasted through 9/11. Sure, 9/11 got the X-Files cancelled, but... And also, I guess... I don't I don't know what effects, if any, 9/11 had on Japan, I suppose. I think the weirdness got funneled into motion controls. PS2, yes. It was a great time where you could make some very complicated stuff in 3D, but you could just be 5 guys in a room. You didn't need to be like as studio oriented, maybe. But I honestly don't know enough. I don't want to talk out my ass because I don't really know what happened or why. I don't know why I've put these here because I don't want to play any of these. Or maybe we'll just say, this is just the stuff we found. Which of these would I ever conceivably play? So, I recommend... Oh, I found this, and I do actually want to play this. So, Hell Knight, also known as Dark Messiah, is a first-person survival horror video game. Published by Atlas in collaboration with Konami. Its popularity was low, so we're off on a good start here. And make this even bigger. There we go. Plot: at the end of the millennium, Tokyo is a megapolis. It's a super city with a huge system of subway tunnels and sewers. The game opens with the protagonist fleeing from a group of notorious cult members through the city streets and escaping on a late-night subway train. No, it's not hipster points. It implies that the game will be bad. And that's good. The game uses a first-person perspective very similar to first-person shooter games, only without any means of combat. Throughout the games, players must travel through different areas of the mesh and beyond and solve puzzles to progress to the surface. The player encounters only one type of enemy, and that is the mutating monster. The only possible way for players to survive is to run away. Any close contact with the enemy will result in the deaths of their companions and finally themselves. Once the companions are attacked, they are killed permanently. However, the player meets other characters that might replace their lost friends. Is that not enticing? Is that not a little bit tasty? Does that not have a nice granular flavour and texture? I'm running around the mesh underneath Mega Tokyo, and if the mutating monster touches me, my friends die permanently. That's a Sean Morley game. That's why I want this. This is going on the list. I'm going to make a new list here. We'll make a new big frame. Make it a nice dark green. Dark green's where it is. To playlist. Okay. Games. That's the wrong colour. That I actually wish to play. And this is really what we want to populate here. There's okay, so just going back to Junko Koano, she made a spiritual successor to Shadow of Memories for the 3DS. And when I complete her box, that will have some information on it. Okay, copy this image. This is too small. Make the whole thing a bit bigger. There we go. I don't know how much this applies to Japanese game, but I've seen in Western PC games as the establishment of genres killed a lot of innovation. In the 80s and 90s, as genres were still being invented, anything could be a game, as there was a lot of weirdness. I think this is it. I think it's that movement into 3D, and a lot of things suffered for it because loads of developers were like, I don't know if dual analog stick is going to be the way, so I'm going to invent this completely different movement system. Maybe people want to use the back triggers to look up and then the front triggers to look down. In the end, they don't. They want dual analog stick, or at least that's what we all settled on as probably being the best compromise. But people didn't know what a video game was supposed to be, and as soon as we hit CD-ROMs, you could put so much stuff on there. You could do whatever you like. I think there was what I sense, at least in Japan, there was a far more of an interest from musicians into exploring, because these were CDs. This is what we print music onto. And a lot of people wanted to make like audio-visual experiences. I don't know. I think it caught the attention of a lot of weirdo artists who thought this was an interesting medium, and then it stopped after a while. After it was, after you couldn't make any money doing that, and that was it. Have you had a look at Chega's party quiz yet? I will. There was a walk the dog arcade me with a treadmill and a leash. That's pretty good. All right, let me get because part of this is I just want to get my info down as well. So, Konami 1998 for the PlayStation. Hell Knight. I also love it. It's called Hell Knight. Konami 1998. I'll just say PS1. And now we want some screenshots, I think. So I don't know if you know about this site, but we'll go to Moby Games for our screenshots. Moby Games. Do you know Moby Games? Hell Knight. Hey, where is it? Maybe they know it. Maybe it's here by the other name. Dark Messiah. Dark Messiah. Okay. And often they've got some good screenshots. Young girl. My name's Naomi Sugiura. I was out with some friends and we lost track of time, and then this happened. Great. And then a little bit of flavor description. First person running away simulator. You cannot kill the monster. If it touches you, your friends die. I think that's what interests me about this. That's why it's on the to play list. And let's just copy this little dividing line here. Little divider will help us organize and see things a bit more clearly. In fact, maybe rather than being this color, it can be yellow. There we go. That's nice. Games I actually wish to play. Number 1, Hell Knight. Now, back into the list. Okay. Police Noughts? Don't think so. Do we want to start in 1998? Should we say when was LSD Dream Emulator released? LSD Dream Emulator. 1998. Okay, so we're going to start in 1998. Who published that? Asmic Ace Entertainment. That's probably the developer. Who published it? Oh no, Asmic Ace self-published. Right. Konami Games. All right, we'll start in 1998. What's Azure Dreams? We'll just read about things. We're just going to do some reading. LSD Dream Emulator is like the name of a weird itch. Yeah, itch is the place for it now. Have you played that LSD game on stream already? Yes, I went big on it. I went very big on playing it. Although, to be honest, right, I read this really good Kimi the Video Game Eater LSD Dream Emulator. Oh, What is her name? Kimimimi, the video game eater. There's a really good blogger. She also works for PC Gamer. Ah, that's it. Kimimimi, the game eating she monster. She has written a really good critique of LSD Dream Emulator. How do I search this website? About and contact? No, there must be other things. Search LSD Dream Emulator. If you're really interested in LSD Dream Emulator, this criticism of it I thought was really good. It was written 3 years ago. Yeah, looking at the old arcades is really fascinating. Unfortunately, it's so hard to get beyond even getting good footage of them. Because a lot of it's been traditional, and I think it is still the case. They don't let you film in Japanese arcades. And I think even photography is only allowed if it's like a general photograph and not a specific photograph. Okay, Azure Dreams is a role-playing video game published by Konami, made by Konami. The main focus of the game is entering the Tower of Monsters and destroying its denizens. Seems rude. This is the gameplay. The player can also catch monster eggs to hatch into familiars. Each monster has hidden spells, unique traits, and abilities. The game revolves around the Tower of Monsters and the town of Monsbaya. Seems like an RPG of some kind. What does Moby Games show me? Azure Dreams. It looks very PlayStation RPG. Nothing wrong with that. I like this mascot figure. I would like to just see a little bit that tells me what moving around in this environment looks like. What's YouTube going to tell me? Azure Dreams. Azure Dreams retrospective review. The PS1's most underrated RPG. It looks fine. I like RPGs, but I'm not going to stream an RPG because they take 60 hours and they're a bit repetitive. Bishi Bishi Special. A series of video games by Konami for arcades and mobile phones. I don't know what it is. Mini games? Arcade games? I think this is a bunch of arcade mini games. I'd say you are a denizen. I don't set a particularly high bar to becoming a denizen. Bottom of the 9th 99, don't think so. Breeding Stud 2. Now this is where Moby Games comes in. I am unequivocally interested in Breeding Stud 2. But there's no article for it. Moby Games will have it. Breeding Stud 2. Oh, come off it. You don't have it either. Breeding Stud 2. Breeding Stud. Oh, this might be one for Pete. This might be a Pete game. Look at this. Breeding Stud. Bokujo di Omaisho. I know. Aimasho. Breeding Stud, literally translated as Breeding Stud, let's meet at the pasture, is a racehorse breeding simulation game. As the owner of a racehorse breeding pasture, players need to breed or purchase foals and then send them to other pastures for training and racing. That's one for Pete, I think. I think that's a good Pete game. All right, what's next? Contra Adventure. Is that going to be Contra? It looks very Contra. It looks extremely Contra. I like Contra, but I don't care for it right now. Dancing Blade Kateni Momotenshi. Didn't think you of the Twitch horse game Monopoly. Not with that attitude. Okay. Dancing Blade Kateni. I know that's Tenshi. That means angel. What is it? What have we got? Momohime is a young girl who's found inside a giant peach as a child. Off to a good start. She is traveling with her friends, hoping to learn more about where she came from. It is an anime FMV game. The player simply watches each scene as it proceeds. The only interaction is occasionally selecting dialogue choices when prompted. Depending on the player's choices, they will reach one of 4 different endings. Once an ending is reached, the scenario leading to that ending can later be replayed without interruption. Fine. That's fine. Diver's Dream? Has Moby Games got it? Diver's Dream, 1998. Oh, hello. The driver's currently in the field. There's nothing wrong with that. Not like taxis, right? It doesn't get more expensive just because they go in a field. Okay, Diver's Dream is a game inspired by Luc Besson's movie, The Big Blue. Well, first we need to understand what Luc Besson is a film director and producer from France. He has contributed to the creation of more than 50 films, including The Big Blue, Leon the Professional, and The Fifth Element. Okay. And what is... Hang on, let's go to a different... The Big Blue. Let's just read about this on Wikipedia. The Big Blue. Has anyone seen The Big Blue? Does anyone know this? The Big Blue, released in some countries under the French title Le Grand Bleu, is a 1988 drama film in the French Cinéma du Look visual style. It is a heavily fictionalized and dramatized story of the friendship and sporting rivalry between 2 contemporary champion freedivers in the 20th century. Does anyone know this film? The film became one of France's most commercially successful films. French President Jacques Chirac referred to the film in describing Mayol after his death in 2001 as an enduring symbol for the Big Blue generation. Can we get the TBBG in the chat for the Big Blue generation? No, it's not. It's not Free Willy. I know that there's a dolphin in it, but it looks like it's about a rivalry between 2 freedivers. And freediving, if you're interested, is a form of underwater diving that relies on breath holding. Never heard it phrased that way, breath holding, until resurfacing rather than the use of breathing apparatus such as scuba gear. Oh, okay, it's diving without scuba. Scubaless diving. Unbreathing. Breathless diving. I don't know if I'm going to read out the entire plot. Oh, they alternated they changed the ending for America. The original ending was intentionally ambiguous, though considering the depth Jacques has swum to, it would seem he is unlikely to regain the surface alive. He is unlikely to regain the surface alive. In the American adaptation, the ending is extended with an additional scene. After swimming away with the dolphin, Jacques is returned to the surface. Oh, okay. So the European version has sort of an ambiguous ending, and the American version has an ending where everyone's alive and happy. Great. Oh, hello, Albright. Yes. So I'm looking. So we're right in the middle of things. I'm looking at the game Diver's Dream, released on the PlayStation 1 in 1998. However, it was based on Luc Besson's movie Big Blue. So first I need to look up who Luc Besson was. He's from Leon the Professional, The Fifth Element, but also what he's most famous for in France is arguably Big Blue. And Big Blue is a film about 2 freedivers released in France in 1988, and it was so famous that Jacques Chirac said when one of the actors died that it was a loss for the Big Blue generation. And that's where we are. That's what's happening now. People really like Leon, huh? I remember seeing a lot of Leon posters when I was in university, and then I watched Leon, and I thought it was, it's fine. No, I'm looking at Diver's Dream, 1998. So it's It's inspired by a 1998 French movie about two freedivers, where freediving is diving without scuba. Hang on, I've got a Discord notification. Is it something wildly important? No. I can confirm it is not wildly important. Okay. The player meets an old man named Roberto Maya, whose lifelong dream is to explore the wreck of the ship Gigantic Matilda. Okay. That's pulled to me. That's the first. We're doing an inverse strike system. 3 strikes and you're in. That's strike number 1. Together with him and his granddaughter Olivia, the player sets out to start exploring the vast seabed and finally, maybe even, Gigantic Matilda. The player starts out wearing just a pair of swim trunks, and in order to reach the great depths of the sea, the equipment needs to be up to date. The game is mission-based, and the player will have to collect treasures and valuables from the seabed with the money earned, upgrade the scuba gear, and advance to more difficult missions with greater rewards. The game is semi-free roaming in nature, meaning the player gets to explore a big area at the time. Options are to collect treasure, fight off aggressive underwater creatures, or simply play around with the friendly dolphins. Can I just say? This is strike 2. This is strike 2 here. Let's have a look at the screenshot gallery. That might be strike 3. That is an image. That is such an image. That is such an image. That is so good. I'm just keeping that right there. Okay, do we all agree? Three strikes and you're in on this one? Diver's Dream? Is that in the to play list now? What do you think? There's a lot going on. Look at this. Look at this loading screen. Let's dive. Okay, so we've
Poll open.
Oh, we got a poll going here. Who are you? 1 in the chat for Gigantic Matilda, 2 in the chat for Big Pudding, 3 for Breeding Stud, and 4 for Diver's Dream. Okay. Diver's Dream. In it goes. Okay, I bet I should probably pop in these screenshots that I love so much. And where's Big Pudding? Big Pudding. Sometimes things just speak to you, huh? Gigantic Matilda. Big Pudding's winning. It's a very strong choice. Okay, let me extend the frame. Probably dramatically. So it must have been released by Konami. Yep. Okay. So, Diver's Dream.
Closed.
Konami. Winner 1998. PS1. Congratulations on all the Big Pudding voters. Although it wasn't really a competition, I think. A free diving game based on Luc Besson's 1998 film Big blue. You can freely explore underwater environments, and ultimately, and the ultimate goal of the plot is to explore the wreck of a ship called Gigantic Matilda. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? That's just enough. This is good. I'm having a good time. What do you think about the idea of a research stream? This is the first thing I've done which I think conforms to that idea. I mean, what if I was to do a research stream on something much drier, like Dutch politics or, I don't know, something else? All right, what's next? Fisherman's Bait, a bass challenge. I want to say there's negative points now just to anything fish-based because we've got enough. Where are the dwarfs though? Have you abandoned gameplay? I'd like to do a proper dwarf stream, which, like before, needs me to make some plans. And I want to look at what we had with the mods and stuff, because I think a dwarf stream will build up well. This is... I mean, it's a really nice game sleeve. I will grant that the game sleeve is very beautiful. Open the image in a new tab. The kit reels in the money. The base are waiting. I mean, it's very beautiful. Feel realistic vibrations through the special reel joystick. Cast your line for the big one. It's very beautiful. The base are waiting. Should I save that as well? The base are waiting. But I probably don't want to play it. I will look. I'll look. What's it called? Fisherman's Bait. I think there's probably only so much novelty you can get from. There's so much beautiful. There's so much beauty here. There's just so much here that's beautiful. Mode select, beginner training tournament. I'd need that controller. Sure, I could work around it. Select the best place to fish. Lure select. I just love the aesthetics here. I just think this looks really beautiful. Yes! Save this. Oh, man. I need to organize these images because I'm just sticking them straight. I've got a folder in one of my hard drives just called temp, where it's a dumping ground. But there's too much junk in there. Let me make a special thing. Game screenshots I downloaded excitedly on Tuesday. That's specific enough to be a folder name, I think. Got fish on. And then we got Fisherman's Bait. Great. Okay, and then they can all go in there from now on. I'll probably share all these to the Discord afterwards. Did that settings menu have a live well option? Let me go back, because that could be important. Live well. Yes! Yes, it does down here. It could be live well. Like it could be a well filled with water, and you can see live footage of what's going on with the well. Yeah, I can't account for live well. I understand it is a slogan, but not as a button. I am going to look through all these. Now that I've seen fish on, oh, I would love that font. That on a hat. Fish on.
Poll open.
Oh, that's good. If you think it said live well, vote 1. If you think it said live well, vote 2. Rainbow trout. All right, is this going on? After Pete's completely useless poll, we could do a functional poll. Maybe we do want to play this. Okay, what are our 3 strikes? Live well, that was a strike. Fish on, that was a strike. So we're looking for our 3rd strike. Largemouth bass. Big! I don't know if it's a strike, but the way it says big there is making me really happy. The base awaiting. Those are our 3 strikes. All right, it's in. They're all kind of the lakes are kind of overlaid on each other. We have Lake Howell, Hudler Chain.
The winner is this.
Yeah, Hudler Chain. Spot select. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Fisherman's Bait, a base challenge. No, a bass challenge, sorry. All right, fine. Okay, then. Let me find this image again. All right. Oh, we should get some background music. There we go. That should calm us down. You know, there's so much trouble in the world these days. But not here. Not in this room. Fisherman's Bait. A bass challenge. Konami 1998 PS1. I think that's all correct. This is a bit too small. 15, please. There we go. It's just a fishing game, but the aesthetics are off the hook. And I'll do a little wink to know. I know I did something good there. I know I did a little joke there. Nothing to worry about. Bigger. That could be a bit bigger. A PlayStation. At this time, I think Konami are porting things between both for everything they can. Konami's really trying to get the arcade. Were you here when we talked about the dog box, Albert? Were you here when we talked about Dog Station? Yeah, Pete, do you want to be my competitor? To see who can hook the most bass? What was the other image we really like? Fish on. It's just a masterpiece, isn't it? I was not in. Let's see if I still got it around. Yeah, Dog Station. Konami made a dog rearing. They made a dog rearing arcade cabinet. And you would go, you'd play with your dog, you'd train it, you'd play with it, you'd do exercises with it, and then you would save your dog to a magnetic disc that you take home with you. And then you can take that disc to any Dog Station cabinet and continue spending time with your dog. Please call it a fish off and use the fish on font. I'd happily play competitive. Alright, I'll write that in. Play this game competitively with your friends and rivals on stream. Yeah, this could be the beginning of a really irritating tournament. Fishtmas. Is that what you're doing? Oh, are you trying to get me hooked on your themes? The themes that have clearly become the bane of your life. All right, what's next? I have to say this is going a lot better than I thought it would. We're finding so much more than I expected. This looks shit. Gambare goemon kurunara koi ayashige ikanokuroi kage. Oh, there's nothing. The game plays from a top-down view and introduces a kick move to each character's repertoire of techniques. It's the second game in 3D following Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Is Goemon an existing... Who's Goemon? Is a Gambare Goemon? Okay, what's that? Go for it, Goemon. Known as Goemon and Mystical Ninja. I don't know anything about this. Do anyone know Goemon? Think about Baboon June. Yeah, when is Baboon June? Because I think you could do... Because I think you could do it whenever, a good Pete. I honestly... A good Pete, I know you're not going to like this because I know that's not the way your brain works. But if you roll out Baboon June in December, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be such a hit. People will be like, I wasn't expecting it then. Is this the soundtrack from Shadows of Destiny? You're right. You are 100% right. The first Goemon game is called Mr. Goemon. And there's been a lot. There's been a lot. Are they still going? Wow, there's actually quite a lot going on. No. It peeled off big time in 2005 and it's probably dead now. Child Chabadai. What is that? Am I looking this up? We would all like Baboon June, but I appreciate it's short notice. Oh, Super Dinner Table Flipping. Okay, yeah, I can see the appeal. Super Dinner Table Flipping is an arcade game. Taito, that makes sense. Taito do the Taiko games, right? In the game, the player must pound their hands and flip the game's plastic table peripheral in one of 4 scenarios to score points. The game offers 4 scenarios to choose from. A man and his family, a bride at her wedding, a guest at a host club, and a frustrated office worker. Using a plastic table peripheral, the player has 60 seconds to pound their hands on the top of the table and flip it. Flipping over the table results in objects going on the floor, resulting in points. So how does it work? Do you have access to the table? Do you have... I'm going to see if I can find YouTube footage of someone playing this. I can't quite... Oh, okay, there's a glass panel. This looks like it's just going to be someone playing it. Okay, shadow memories away. Desktop audio in. I like how you have to just push the table to just select your character, select the location. This must be the man having dinner with his family. Does the game give you a reason why you're so annoyed? Do we know why the man wants to flip the table? Is it just to be emphatic? Are you supposed to really go for it? Are you supposed to like... Are you supposed to just smash your hands down as hard as you can? Is it like a strength game, like a punching? You know, those games that are like testing how hard you can punch a punching bag. It's very good. I've never flipped a table. I would play it in a heartbeat. I would 100% play it in a heartbeat. Yeah, it does seem like you're you have to hit certain reaction times. Yeah, can we get F's in the chat for the nuclear family? Yeah? Albrock, was it like a genuine table flipping out of like anger? Or was there a special situation in which it became socially acceptable to do so? Cho Chabudai Gayashi. Yes, exactly, Ava. That's what I started doing. Be like, can someone? I'm sure someone. There's so much. What's the word? I think interest in just going back, and there's so many YouTubers who make loads of videos of like dumpster diving all the old weird games, but you have to watch a 3-hour-long video that way. Although, to be fair, how long have I been streaming and we've looked at like 3 or 4 games? Anyway, I don't think Goemon's going to be it. So let's go to GASP Fighters, a fighting video game for the Nintendo 64. The American and Canadian versions are known as Deadly Arts. The players can choose one of 8 fighters in a match or duel. Oh. Did your team lose? Hikari, an all-white humanoid with a third eye on his forehead. Yami, a grey-skinned man with purple beard and long sideburns. It sounds like it's got an aesthetic edge, but I don't know if a fighting game's really going to be it. But let's have a little look. I didn't think a bass fishing game was going to be it, so you just never know, do you? Gasp, Deadly Arts. I just want to go straight to the screenshots for this one. Hello, Bird.exe. Given my absolute love. So firstly, Bird.exe, I want to say that I've gone a bit mad and I've made myself this big video games Miro board, just highlighting interesting connections and histories of interesting Japanese, not necessarily Japanese, but just happens to be all Japanese video games developers. And I want to, given that Lifeline and Shadow of Destiny are just absolute masterpieces, I want to find out more games like that. And currently my working theory is they were made by Konami and Sony Computer Entertainment between the years 2000 and 2010. Let's just ignore that. I'm making a to playlist by looking at everything they made around this type of era. And I'm currently looking through every game Konami made from 1998 onwards, and if I want to play it, we put them in this list. So far, Hell Knight, first-person running away simulator. You cannot kill the monster if it touches your friends. If it touches you, your friends die. It may do. Diver's Dream, a free diving game based on Luc Besson's 1998 film Big Blue. You can freely explore underwater environments, and the ultimate goal of the plot is to explore the wreck of a ship called Gigantic Matilda. I think this caught our eye. Also, there's this screenshot of a CGI ship called Big Pudding, which we enjoyed. And also, curiously, we've ended up getting really attached to Fisherman's Bait, a bass challenge, Konami 1998 PS1. We just think that the aesthetics are fun. And we think we might do a competitive bass fishing stream. At the very least, me and Pete, to see who can catch the best fish. There was a replay review in the 2006 NFL playoffs. I stated that in the event the decision went poorly, I would flip our shitty uni apartment coffee table. But I had plenty of time to gently move all the stuff off the table first. Oh, do you know, there was an election where, God, who was it? Paddy Ashdown, someone like that, said they'd eat their hat if something happened. And after the result did not go the way they expected, he was like, oh, well, I'd eat a chocolate hat. And people were like, that's not it. Paddy, that's not it. Was it Paddy? Who was it who said that? I don't. I think fishing games are really boring. Oh, and lastly, Bird, we're doing an inverse 3 strikes rule. We look at a game, and if there's 3 strikes of things we just think look really cool, it's in. 3 strikes and you're in. Currently, we're looking at GASP, also known as Deadly Arts in America and Canada. It's just a fighting game. I don't know if I care, but I also just love looking at the screenshots. Looking at the screenshots for these old games make me really happy. So that's that, really. Deadly Arts, that doesn't do anything for me. This doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, can we get AIPA in the chat for Albright's Paddy Ashdown? This doesn't really do anything for me. I don't like it. Yeah, and then there was a documentary made about him eating his shoe, right? This is doing nothing for me. If anyone else has something's gripping them about this, let me know, but I'm ready to move on. Oh, we have a new user.
Thank you
Thank you so much for triggering the welcome back. We love seeing new faces in the chat. And we love seeing this community grow from strength to strength. Hello, King of Time. Yeah, that was Harry. Hell Knight's already gone in. International Superstar Soccer. I mean, this picture's a lot of fun. I can't imagine I want to do this. In fact, I'm just going to move on. I don't want to do International Superstar Soccer. Sorry. Kensei Sacred Fist. Okay. Okay, now we're gaming. Albright, are you in? Albright, are you in the fishing? Are you in the fishing tournament? You owned Kensei. How was it? Oh yes, yes. Actually, King of Time, can you help me? What bridge in London is being depicted here? There's a game called Silent Scope 2: Dark Silhouette, designed and released by Konami for arcade cabinets and PlayStation 2 in the year 2000. The first mission takes place in this London bridge. That's Tower Bridge. That's what I said. I said Tower. That's what I wrote in my notes. Sniper shootout on Tower Bridge. Good. Glad to succeed. Alright, what is this? This is a 3D fighting game. It was a straight-to-console release without an arcade counterpart. Uses a button distribution style. This is a fighting game, right? I don't think I want to play a fighting game. There was a pit fighter called Heinz Strait. Heinz was born into a family of known aristocratic ancestry, but quickly grew tired of his wealthy and pampered life. Now he spends his time picking and joining fights. He enjoys the status of being the black sheep of the family. That wasn't as interesting as I was hoping. Reception. The game was largely not well received by critics. IGN and GameSpot were both quite critical of the game, calling it mediocre. James Mielke wrote, Kensei Sacred Fist is a little more than a bland footnote in fighting game history. Now I'm interested. Let's see some screenshots. Now I'm curious. I just like to see the screenshots, you know? Oh yes, this looks incredibly dull. This looks very boring. Shall we move on? Oh yeah, Ava, how was it when you played it? May I suggest Tulip? You may indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me welcome back. I love seeing these faces in the chat. And I love seeing this community grow from strength to strength. Tulip actually is already on my list. Bird, please. Bird, please. I'm familiar with Tulip. And what was the other thing the developer made after Tulip? I was reading about another thing they made. Tulip. Director Yoshiro Kimura. Something else they made later. Yes, of course, Moon Remix RPG. I have that for the Switch. I was just thinking I ought to actually play it. Its English translation was done by Tim Rogers. Rule of Rose? Rule of Rose was on there as well. I actually chose to look at I chose to forego Rule of Rose in favour of that other thing I played. Do you remember the running away clock tower like? But Rule of Rose was on a long list and it got pipped by that. It looks very cutscene lengthy, and I was more interested in. God, what was it called? What are Konami Antiques? Oh, okay, it's a recollection of old games. Metal Gear Solid, never heard of it. Mitsumete Night. But Tulips is on a long list, I think. It's a dating sim and role-playing game developed by Konami. Made by people who made Sakura Wars. The game itself was modified from Tokimeki Memorial with improvements including an expanded area to display background. I don't know if I want to play another. It has exactly the same program as Tokimeki. Was it very famous? I can't even understand what the title means. Is it about a gear? Are we considered Seaman? Also in a long list. I think there are games that are like... Do you know, I found this with LSD. There's LSD Dream Emulator. There are games that are like superficially weird to like boot up. But once you've gotten past that, there's not a huge amount to do. However, I would say that Tulip, I think, would be fun. And I think even Moon RPG is fun. Although that's kind of a sweet little game I want to play on my own. Nagano Winter Olympics. Can't see why I would play it, but let's just have a little look. I managed to get my mic working for Lifeline, so I'm sure someone's made something similar for Seaman. Okay. Nagano Winter Olympics 98 received unfavourable reviews. 48 and 49% respectively for the Nintendo 64 version and PlayStation version. Anything interesting? No. You had a dodgy CD of that game. Princess Maker. So I think Princess Maker inspired Tokimeki. I think the underlying programming of Princess Maker and similar was what like allowed the thinking that dating sims got based on to be made. NBA in the Zone, Poi Poi 2, Suikoden 2, Poiter's Point, Sodom no Inbo, Stroopwafels. Hey, nice. What is this? I don't understand. Gameplay. The game is the same as Poi Poi. Great. Thanks. What's Poi Poi? Poi Poi won the best game of all time. What's Poi Poi? It's a party video game published by Konami. A multiplayer action game in which 4 players battle each other using various props such as rocks, logs and blocks of ice. Oh, okay. A party fighting game. Not something I could probably dig into on stream. Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 2. Irodori no Love Song. Tokimeki no Hokago. Twin Bee RPG. That was also made by the same... That was made by Junka Koano. Strikes Again. Beat Mania. Be a rhythm game, surely. Beat Mania. This is very good. This is very good box art. Magical. Here we go. This calls out to me. Albrot's already played Mr. Mosquito, I'm afraid. Mr. Mosquito, Albrot introduced it to me, but I've seen it now. I don't want to steal from Albrot. Albrot invented it. Albrot invented streaming it, you see. Albrot came up with the idea of streaming it. Where's Moby Games? Hello, John. I'm looking up every game Konami released for the PlayStation 2 from 1998 to 2008. Have you looked at Road Trip Adventure? Not yet. Magical. Oh God. Magical Medical. Does nowhere have it? Not on Moby Games. Okay. Video game. Magical Medical. Well, only because I want to enjoy the process of just researching loads of games in the list. I'm not against receiving recommendations, but I don't want to get too sidetracked from just absolutely churning through this Wikipedia list. I can't find this one. This is the first one I can't find. Magical Medical. I'll put in Magical Konami 1998. Magical Medical Konami 1998. Okay. History Games and archive.org. This is the cover. Oh, of course. Yeah, there's loads of games. I mean, my Japanese study just has fallen off a cliff. But there's a lot that I would love to dig into if I could. Especially one I really want to Tikara Monogatari. Oh, Tikara Hajimaru Monogatari is. It was made by it was the only other game directed by the guy who directed Lifeline. And you're a skater guy. Look at this fucking box art. You're a skater guy who accidentally loads up the wrong program on the computer and falls into this isekai world and has to learn sword fighting and fight these really weird looking polygonal creatures. But I don't know. I no longer enjoy struggling with the kanji. It's hard enough on a website where at least you can copy the kanji into Jisho or something. Okay, magical. What is this website? History/games.com. Medicine is the art and science of healing. We're off to a good start. It includes a number of methods of healthcare have evolved to maintain and restore health by the prevention and treatment of diseases. Okay. Here we go. Magical Medical is a role-playing game that takes place in the near future, which one day in elementary school, a student, Matsudo Ayumi, suddenly suffered a collapse in the classroom. She was infected with mysterious pathogen X. The player controls Pi N antivirus, introducing himself in the body to destroy the virus. Gameplay. Destroy the virus in each patient's body. Every body there is a perspective view in which the player will have to defeat different enemies each step to advance through. During the game, the player will have to cure of 6 different patients. It's an action RPG where you play an antivirus. This sounds interesting. Alright, so what's it actually called? Magikaru Medekaru. Oh no, Magikaru Medikaru. Medekaru. Okay. So it's transliterated, but it's not in katakana, strangely. It's in hiragana. Magikaru Medekaru. So let me just type that out. Let me type it into something. God. I've forgotten all my hotkeys for moving into Japanese. Magikaru Medekaru. Okay. So there's it translates it into seriously, but there's a Wikipedia page for it here, but no image. But what about on YouTube? Can we see footage? Yes, good. Nice. This game is fictional. That's as far as I got. On that day, we discovered. It's been too long. Let's just see the gameplay. Oh man, it looks great. Oh, I love it. I'm never going to understand what's going on in it though, but it's nice to see it. It's nice to see this little wee willy winky guy be the embodiment of an antivirus, and that you can see the health progress of your patient over here. That's really nice. And you can see like how their virus is progressing. Yeah, it's a dungeon crawler, but your medicine. That's really good. I'm just going to say it now. Osmosis Jones RPG could never. Alright, that was fun to see. Alright, what else is next? Yu-Gi-Oh! No. Bishi Bashi Special, no. Breeding Stud 99, no. We've already looked at Breeding Stud. Dancing Blade. We've already looked at Dancing Blade. Kateni Momotenshi. That is an FMV game about a sword anime girl. How about Dancing Stage featuring True Kiss Destination? This is just a stub in the larger Dancing Stage Wikipedia page. I have to respect the person that writes them out, but it's like, I'm not making a page for it. I just know they made Breeding Stud. Okay, and now we're on to some Fisherman's Bait 2 Big Old Bass. Fucking hell. Okay, let me check out Eisei Meijin 3. Come on. Okay, you can show me Eisei Meijin 2. Maybe that'll give me a clue. Eisei Meijin 2 is a digital version of the traditional Japanese board game of shogi for 1 or 2 players. I can quite happily say I'm not interested. Okay, Fisherman's Bait 2 Big Old Bass. Now I'm interested. Why are we doing Fisherman's Bait 1 when Fisherman's Bait 2 is literally right here? Not to be confused. Hang on. Have these got anything to do with each other? There's Fisherman Bait 2 Big Old Bass, but then just Big Old Bass released. Hang on, we're going to see if these are related games. Okay, so this was released by Konami. This was also released by Konami. So what's going on here then? Big Old Bass 2 is the third part in the Fisherman's Bait series. Fucking hell. Okay, they just started churning them out, but can we just get some love for this? Can we just get... Yeah, but that's so confusing, right? Because that means the gaming naming convention goes Fisherman Bait. Hang on, what's the first game called? The naming convention is Fisherman's Bait, a Bass Challenge. Then the second game is called Fisherman's Bait 2, Big Old Bass. And then the third game is just called Big Old Bass 2. That's mad. You've taken the subheading from the second game, made that the title of the third game, and not acknowledged the name of the series. That's truly mad. That's done my head in. Oh, these are beautiful. I just love the way every screenshot on here looks. MacB, I'm so with you. We added the first one on the 2 playlist because it was so beautiful. Trust me, everything on here is going to look like it should be on a t-shirt. And this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Everything should look like this. Everything should look roughly like this. This is aesthetics to me. To me, this is aesthetics. This looks horrible. This is really ugly. This is unbelievably horrible to look at. I actually don't like this too much either. Oh, I don't like this either. What are we doing? Gran Turismo? Where's the shit? Where's the colours? Oh no. This has really fallen off a cliff. Where's Fish On? Oh, we've brought it back. We've brought it back. I'm saving that. Put that in this folder I've called Game Screenshots I downloaded excitedly on Tuesday. This rules. This just looks so nice to me. To me, this is aesthetics. Okay, well, let's just take a look at Big Old Bass 2. Let's jump straight over. Is this beautiful? That's kind of beautiful. That's kind of beautiful to look at. There's a kind of motion blur on the bass, which I love. I love the super ultra embossed text, but also there's like a little inverted comma to show they dropped the D. The combination of those things is so nice. Lake spots. I'll accept this. It's functional. It's functional. I like how you just cannot really see the lake spots. They're very small. Hello, Sudden Beth. I think, Beth, you saw some of the Lifeline stream. And then I started a new game about a time-traveling German. And I just think games that were made between around 2000 to 2007 just have this incredible kitsch quality. And I've made a stream where we're just looking through all of them and just seeing how we feel about them. And if we're doing a 3 strikes and you're in policy, which is if we find 3 things we love about a game or that just strike us in a way, we will add it to the list and eventually I'll look at it. So far we have Fisherman's Bait 1, a base challenge, just because we just like these aesthetics. We just like absolutely over the top mountain truck guy fish aesthetics. Then there's Diver's Dream. It's a free diving game based on Luc Besson's 1998 film Big Blue, where you play free divers who are looking for the wreck of a ship called Gigantic Matilda. And also it contains this wonderful shot of a CGI boat called Big Pudding. And just I'm like, I have no idea what that is or what that will be like. That's wonderful. That's peak late 90s video game. Also, this is really just a Sean Morley game. It's called Hell Knight, which already is beautifully over the top. It's a game that takes place entirely in this subterranean layer beneath future Tokyo called the Mesh. There's a monster here called the Mutating Monster, and if it touches you, you can find people under the mesh, and they can be your friend. But if the monster ever touches you, your friends die and then you die. And if your friend dies, your friend's dead forever. And you can never at any point hurt or kill the monster. Which just sounds horrible in a way that I think I'd enjoy struggling against. But yeah, we just realised... Oh yeah, Beth, the last thing I'm going to say, and then he'll be fully inducted, is the naming convention for this series of base fishing games is so strange it makes me angry. The names go Fisherman's Bait, a base challenge, released in 1998. Then in 1999 they released Fisherman's Bait 2, Big Old Bass. And then in 2000, they released Big Old Bass 2. They've dropped the Fisherman's Bait part, and they've called themselves a sequel to the subheading of the second game. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Anyway, it's beautiful. Let's look at these images. Oh, I like this. They used to have a horrible, slightly see-through fisherman ghost. Oh, Big Old Bass is great. Tell you what, look at this. Look at the splash screen. Look at that. They need to get rid of the gendered term fisherman. Want to encourage more young girls in 1998 to simulate fishing. Do you know what? Maybe, actually. Do you know what? Why not? Alright, do we love this? Oh, the fish look a bit better. I think I'm taking this fishing game evaluation a bit too seriously. But the fish do look better. The lure selection screen's been done up. Line break. Oh, I don't like that. That's a bit Monster Energy drink. That's a bit No Fear hoodie. Fish on. Oh, that's so ugly. This is what fish on used to look like. This is what they took from us. This is what we used to have. And that is what they took from us. Where's Big Pudding? Have I lost Big Pudding? Oh, I moved it, didn't I? Let's keep that with me. Are we promoting fishing for young girls? Yeah, sure. Do I have any feelings about fishing? I was taken fishing a lot by a temporary boyfriend of my aunt who fished, and I always brought fishing. But I love the maggots. I would make the maggots race, and I'd make race tracks for them. Later I found out what maggots really were, and I felt betrayed. Who remembers when Fish On was good? I do. I'm still angry. Seems like the Japanese title were just Exciting Bass 1, 2 and 3 in their localization team. A transphobe once wrote an article about how I'm queer because my dad never brought me fishing. Well, a transphobe wrote an article about why you specifically are queer because you weren't exposed to fishing. There's a very good episode of my favourite Dutch language show for girls in early secondary school about how her dad won't take her fishing, but she will take her older brother fishing. And then she becomes very good at fishing and shows them up. Only 9 minutes long. And I learnt a couple of new words, all related to fishing, unfortunately. Glint, glitters, and then guitar freaks, and then gungage. Oh, gun gauge. Alright, glint, glitters. So it's red here, so Wikipedia doesn't have anything on it, but Moby Games, the games database, might have something. Gary Glitter 6 games. Am I clicking on this? Why did I'm going to click on it. Gary Glitter has been credited on 6 games. The latest game being Derek Jeter, but this is a different... Oh, of course, music. Music used in, of course. That makes so much sense. Oh, poll, were you exposed to fishing? 1 yes, no, I'm queer, and then some people have voted for 3. I was exposed to fishing. And I'm straight, so... Yeah, I hate to come out. I hate to come out in agreement with Lucy Lefty's enemies. Glint glitters. Okay, well, Glint glitters Konami. Can we find out anything about this thing? Yeah, archive. Glint glitters. Here we are. We've got some screenshots here. What is it? You look like you're running around on a big... She plough on my rat till I love my 2 sons, small me in Crinston, who is different from me. Oh, okay. I didn't know how much of that was randomised. In the 80s, my dad once traded a fishing rod for a computer, but the lad's mum made him give the computer back, and he had to lie and say it was only for the week. In the 80s, my dad once traded a fishing rod for a computer, but the lad's mum... Oh, okay, well, your dad was young at this time. Made him give the computer back. And he had to lie. Whose mum had to make who give the... Why can't I follow this story? So there's a dad and another lad. And the mum made him give the computer back and sent her to line take for 1 week. So your dad gave a fishing rod to someone in... Yeah, okay, so there's your dad who owns a fishing rod. And then there's another... It's an awful trade. It's a terrible trade. Especially in the 80s. Fishing is put on to queer people and it galvanizes us. What does that mean? What does put on mean as a verb in this sentence? What is glint glitters? I've got so many questions. It looks like it's a board game. I just want some website to explain it to me. Glint glitters. Oh. I don't quite understand what archive.org has given me here. It seems to be just... Unless it's this? Oh, are you giving me the ROM? Is archive.org allowed to give me a ROM? £30 rod for a 200 computer, that's awful trade. Check Discord with a moment. I can always engineer a moment for you, Albert. I can just make moments happen. This is actionable, Albert. This is really good. Albert, I guess, knows the websites where you can upload designs in and see what they look like. Big is nice. Ooh, what are you baking? Or what were you baking? What have you burnt? What lovely thing have you burnt? Big is better, isn't it? Fish on actually looks too much like what someone would really wear. But big is just clearly superior. The stitch, I mean, I know it's just a design proof. The stitching looks so appealing to me. Sometimes the crust can be nice. Well, I think archive.org is being sued big time at the moment, isn't it? Isn't archive.org in serious trouble? Big in lowercase is nice. Albright, you don't have to do this, but it'd be nice to see those spaced out a bit more. Stitching is good on my Oog hat. Yeah. It's up on this. There's a big cupboard here. I can't see it easily. What is it? Yeah, maybe music stuff. I mean, the American music industry is the most litigious, right? What am I doing? Oh, I don't think I care about glitters. What's next? Guitar freaks. It looks like... Is this around the time when Guitar Hero's about to get big? When was Guitar Hero? Oh, yes. Okay, I think maybe we're in the pre-Guitar Hero rhythm arcade cabinet era. It's true, Albert. I know we don't want to do that. Do you think Columbo's litigious? No. I think Columbo just wants people to do what they want to do, you know? Just clear some tab space.
Gun.
Okay, Gun Gauge. I think I've heard of Gun Gauge, actually. The game takes place in a fantasy sci-fi world reminiscent of Elemental Gearbolt, Space Harrier, and Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. Sounds alright. Oh, 23 out of 40. Gamers Republic gave it a C. Oh. Oh. Gun Gauge. Let's put it into Moby Games. Was Time Crisis the magical period? Yeah, I think so. Actually, when I was reading, because the first thing I read about was Konami really wanted to corner the arcade cabinet market. Time Crisis 2, I feel like in the UK at least, every arcade in the country had a cabinet of Time Crisis 2. played so much Time Crisis 2 when my parents and stuff took me to like Skegness or Great Yarmouth or somewhere. And then one time I remember me and my friend found Time Crisis 3, like gold dust. But there was, anyone in the Midlands might know this, Drayton Manor, the arcade at Drayton Manor, it had this additional game which I was reading about. I found out that Konami made it, and it was the one that used infrared, because the way Time Crisis 2 worked is that you had a pedal that you'd put your weight on, and it would indicate whether or not you were hiding or not. I think you'd take your foot off of the pedal and you'd go into cover, and then you'd like stand up, put your foot on the pedal, and you'd come up and you could shoot. But they made this other game that I only ever saw once in my life at the arcade in Drayton Manor, and it would use infrared to detect the position of your body. And so if you lean to the left or lean to the right, it was to allow you to bullet time dodge bullets while you're playing an arcade shooter game. And that just, I can't remember how well it worked because I just played it fleetingly at Drayton Manor, which is a theme park anyway. But what a concept. I think the era of super novelty. In fact, Beth, I'm going to tell you about one more thing. This is my favourite thing I discovered from reading about arcade stuff. I'm so glad I put this in a little box here. Dog Station. In 2002, Konami released an arcade cabinet where you could train and play with a virtual dog. Then you save your dog to a magnetic disc, and you have to bring your disc back to another dog station, and then it loads up your dog and you can play with your dog. You go to the arcade to see your dog, and then you can take your dog out of the machine. Because of course you don't want other people playing with your dog, changing its stats or whatever. Save your dog to the disc. That was a golden era. What I'm hankering for, and this whole thing is in aid of, is the golden era just around the turn of the millennium, where people really didn't know what we were going to do with technology and had lots of strange ideas. Does it need to be fed daily? I don't know. Can you imagine you save your dog onto a disc and you come back a week later like the dog's dead? You haven't fed it for a week. Seems very exploitative on behalf of the arcade cabinet manufacturers. International Track and Field. I think we know what this is going to be. Kiniku Banzuke Volume 1 Origa Saikyo no Otoko. This article has multiple issues. Kiniku Banzuke, literally muscle ranking, also known as Unbeatable Banzuke, is a Japanese television program that aired weekly and was the premier sports entertainment variety show of Tokyo Broadcasting Service. Okay. Originally a late-night Friday broadcast, the television special was popular through various games reverting to origins of sports. What? Professional players and general participants challenged the limits of physical strength and technique, winning prizes if all targets were successfully destroyed. I don't know what you're telling me about here. Oh, thank you, Funky Mr. Chicken. Hello, Hughes of Rosemary. Thank you for popping in. I'm researching Konami games. Every Konami game released between 1997 and 2008. That's what I'm doing. I'm currently on 1999, so we're going pretty slowly, and we've been 2 hours in. I am going to seed the stream at some point soon to King of Time, who I know wants to do a stream. KOT, if you happen to be listening in the chat, do you intend on streaming such that I can raid into you? Or ought I not to worry? You found the octopus. Ooh. If we're just being attracted to strange names, look at Melty Lancer, the third planet. Look at Melty Lancer, the third planet. We need to know more about Melty Lancer, the third planet. Melty Lancer. Oh, you're not on here, are you? Melty Lancer? Melty Lancer, anyone? It has to be a translation error. There's no way it's called Melty Lancer. Melty Lancer, the third planet. Guide and walkthrough. Melty Lancer, the third planet, steamgames.org. Oh. It looks like it's maybe a big RPG. Oh yeah, okay. Meruti Rancer. Meruti Rancer. Melty Lancer. Are we happy for it to be a trucker hat? It has to be a trucker hat. Let me... Pretty good. Do you not think that looks better? Let's do a side-by-side comparison. Thank you, Albert. I didn't realise you were actually going to do it. I was sort of spitballing. Which of these hat designs do we like better? A little bit of spread and beige, or together and black and white. What are the two colours here? I like. What are the two? Brown and beige and black and white. Do we think? The hat colours are mutable. What do you mean by that? See, this would have my vote, I think. That's what I'd vote for.
Poll open.
Spread looks nice. You're afraid this is a cuttlefish? Yeah, we all have fears, I suppose. It's okay to be afraid. Do you know that's one of the lasting messages of my stream? It's okay to be scared. Which hat design do you prefer? Black and white, brown and beige? I'm sorry, Albert, to have been correct. I do my absolute utmost to avoid being correct, but sometimes it just happens. Okay, are we interested in Melty Lancer? It's an amazing name. What can Archive tell me about it? Okay, the smallest text I've ever seen. Melty Lancer, the third planet, is the sequel to Melty Lancer Reinforce. Hello, Harry Hardy. Thank you very much for the resubscription. It does look, I mean, yeah, nothing screams RPG than having like 1 trillion characters on the box art. Based on the PlayStation game series, there is an anime OVA 6-episode series known as Melty Lancer the Animation. The eponymous Melty Lancer is actually a 6-woman team of detectives from the Galaxy Police Organization, a name that apparently wasn't trademarked by Tenchi Muyo. Though the unit was once disbanded, the GPO directors inexplicably see fit to recruit a prisoner named Collins and give him command of the newly reconstructed Melty Lancer. So the Melty Lancer is a team of 6 female intergalactic police officers.
Poll closed.
What's the game? You can pick from 5 hat colours. Okay. Thank you for voting on that. Brown and beige is 1. And now Albert has set it all up. We've got, excuse my dark moded Microsoft Edge browser, but there's oh, that's quite fetching. That's quite fetching. I need to double click on this. You can have a completely all white big. You can have brown and beige big. You can have a pink big. Blue and white big. And black and white big. And is this a fully white big? Alright. It is tempting, isn't it? A big pink big. What's melty blood, bud? Well, if you want a hat like that, I guess Albert's the person to talk to. Good value big. I don't remember how much dollars are worth. Is this good value? Melty Blood is a fighting game. I wonder what's going on with the word melty being used in these. Metal Gear Solid VR missions. Jersey Devil, in brackets, Japan. Oh no, I have heard of this. It's a kind of a mascot style platformer. How much a dollar's worth? I don't know. What's the dollar to euro conversion? I honestly will admit I'm not. I still get confused by euros, really. Everything feels expensive because I just look at euros and I think about pounds. I'm like, oh, that's more. Dennis, a mutated humanoid pumpkin, enters Dr. Knarf's lab with something he found in a small cage. He interrupts Knarf as he is about to dissect a mutant eggplant in order to show him the creature he had found. In the cage is shown to be the main character, Jersey Devil. Knarf begins plans to disinfect the infant in order to study him. Maybe this is good. Jersey Devil. Has anyone heard of this? I feel like this is probably one of the more well-known games. But is it? It just looks like a mascot platformer, so it makes me think it must be big. Why do people in Japan even know about the Jersey Devil? No, the stream's not a bureau de change. The stream's not a bureau de change. Oh, I see. No, it is, yes. I think the Jersey Devil is New Jersey, the state south of New York. Is that right? State south of New York? Anyway, King of Time, you are in the clear to start up your stream should you wish. I've done as much as I want. And I also want to ask the people who tuned into this, would you be up for more of this? Because there's clearly an incredible amount to get through. We did literally 2 years of Konami's output on the PlayStation. So there's actually plenty more of this to come if you like just reading the descriptions of and looking at the screenshots of old games. And look, it's been productive. We're going to do a... Oh, by the way, Pete and Harry, if you maybe you won't be able to, but I would like to organise a competition between as many people as I can to stream a competition of who can catch the biggest fish in Fisherman's Bait in 2 hours. I want to do a Fisherman's Bait tournament. Yeah, we're doing a bass off. John, are you in? We got Albrock, we got John, we got a good Pete. I'm not sure if Harry has the gear necessary, but you're very welcome. It's an old game, you just need a little PlayStation. I'm sure we can make it work on anything. Anything more powerful. King of Time's in the bass off. Alright, we can organise this. John, do you have me on... I said John too loudly there. I'm really close to the mic. John, do you have me on Discord? Like we can hook you up with organising this. PD's in? Alright, hang on. Okay, who's in? Let me just make a note of this. Okay, Albert is in. Who's in? John Cullen is in. A good Pete is in. PD is in. Yes. Alright, maybe sometime next week. Lucy Lefty is in. Harry is in. Am I missing anyone? King of Time is in. A good peak, King of Time. I'm sure we could probably get some more in. Hues of Rosemary, are you still here? Are you interested in joining the Bass-Off? Catbox probably. I'll ask Buzz Josie. Catbox, Plem, Red, Kyote. We could probably get this really absurdly. I think we could probably get an absurd amount of people involved. I think the amount of people. If I really put my back into this, how many people could I get playing Fisherman's Bait, a Bass Challenge? Hi-Fi Lowlife. Do you have the means to stream it, Hi-Fi? Okay. TBA means to be asked. Yeah, okay, great. Hi-Fi Lowlife is in. Also, we'll ask B and M Bandit. I think they might be interested. Funky, are you in? I honestly think, I think it'll be the largest Fisherman's Bait tournament ever organised in world history. Oh, and there's one rule. Can I just say there's one rule? You can load it up to make sure it works, but you cannot ever play it. You cannot play it, you cannot familiarise yourself with it until we are in. You can just check that it boots up. You cannot play it before the stream. We're going to learn the controls in the tournament. That's life. That's gaming. Are we doing simultaneous streams? Yes. That's what keeps us honest. We gotta stay honest. No practicing. No practicing. All right. I'll contact you all later. Bass tournament. Why am I committing to this? But let me tell you, I'm fully committed. I'm fully committed. Can someone tell me if King of Time is live? Yeah, no researching, no looking at anything. Your research is this. Your research is this here. You can look at this image, and you can look at this image, and maybe occasionally you can look at this image, and that's what image you're going to be seeing in the bass tournament, because I plan on bringing home the biggest trout on offer, unless trout and bass are different, in which case I'll bring home a bass. He is live. All right, which version are we playing? Number 1. If I see any big old bass, whether it's Fisherman's Bait 2 Big Old Bass, or whether it's Big Old Bass 2, which is Fisherman's Bait 3, nuh-uh, disqualified. We're playing Fisherman's Bait, a Bass Challenge, Konami 1998 for the PlayStation. I will lay out all the rules later. Fisherman's Bait, a Bass Challenge. The bass are waiting. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for everything. Thanks so much for everything you do. You keep me honest. You keep me hostile. You keep me in a state of permanent dismay. PSX Arcade. PSX. It will be jankier. A lot of arcade ports simply do not work very well. That's what we're playing. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Here is your answer. I bought an actual PS1 copy. Absolutely. Honestly, surely that would be even better. Okay, I'm gonna head off now. I will make a place for us to talk about the Bass Challenge on the Discord. And for now, King of Time, great friend of the stream, is doing a crossword stream.
Here's a guy with no worries.
Well, that was once the case. Goodbye, everyone. Be well, and don't F around. I just like hearing the word moo, really. Yeah, but just like moo.
What about
Yeah, but oh, that wasn't moo, so the cows are leaving. Oh, that wasn't mooing, so the cows are leaving. They're going over to Mary. A couple are coming back now. Yeah, that's good. Edward's not really trying.